Hey guys, I'm back. In this video, you guys can see right here, I upgraded some of my equipment. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He said, "Mike, why your sound so messed up?" I said, "Because I just picked up the camera and went, And that brings me to the topic of this video. And some of you guys are procrastinating. Believe it or not, some of you might be saying, "Listen, I don't have the right laptop. I don't got the right smartphone." Right? And that could be something you're holding yourself back on taking action and getting started with your SMMA agency. And I never forget that I used to also be that way too years ago. And I want you to think about that for a minute, because I told you guys some of the story. And if you go into my bio, you could see the story right there, a little bit of it. And I didn't just get good in sales overnight, right? It did take some time, but along the process, I was cheap, right? I didn't want to invest in courses. I didn't want to invest in a coach, right? I wanted to go and figure it out. So I'd watch all the videos I could. I'd listen to all the audio I could. I'd read all the books I can. And I'm basically trying to reinvent the wheel. And I found out the hard way that it's going to take you even 10 times longer to get to the place you want to get by doing it that way. It's gonna take a long time. Why? Because the person or the people that have experienced the level of success in a specific endeavor that you want have either had to go through the same experiences you're going through, or the same or similar experience, I should say, that you're going through right now. And that's not just with the agency, but things within your agency, and obviously things outside of your agency. Because believe it or not, folks, the things that go on the outside are going to have a major impact on what goes on the inside. And so I never forget when I made that step to just change and just to go the right route and to not deviate from the plan, everything seemed like it was moving faster, right? It seemed like, closing deals was such a breath of fresh air, was so easy. Why? Because I had invested in coaching. I had known, I should say, what to look for and what not to look for. Right? And I had known who to listen to and who not to listen to. Some of you are listening to so many people on the internet that when you try to apply it to your specific sale that you're doing, right, with your specific niche, how you talk to your clients, it doesn't relate. See, when I talk on the phone, you guys hear the niches that I'm targeting. It would be a lot different if I was talking to a different niche, right? I would have to make it more relatable for those types of businesses. My point is that don't be cheap. No, if you want results, make your stake to claim. Say, this is what I'm going to do. It's 2021 going into 2022. And you say, hey, listen, I'm not going to make excuses anymore. I'm not going to be the person that signs up for the gym membership, goes once or twice and say, I'll try again next year. Why? Because life is not promised to you, and it's definitely not promised to anybody around you, and it's not promised to me. Okay? And so what you want to do is you want to take action. And you might be saying, Mike, well, I don't have the money. Mike, I don't know what the first thing is to do. Mike, I don't think I'm going to be able to get clients. Mike, I've made cold calls, but they never worked out. Nobody I know has made cold calls and it's worked out. I knew one or two people. They tried to get an SMA. It didn't work out for them. Okay? And I always tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. What's that? That if you really want something, it doesn't matter who it didn't work for. It doesn't matter what it was. It matters what it's going to be. It matters what you do today. It matters what you do tomorrow and the day and day after. I could tell you that anybody I know that picks up that phone, has the hunger and the desire to get better, will always go to the extra step to figure it out. They will always get the skill. They will always find the answer. They are the people that when the sun goes down, they're still wide awake. Why? Because they're hungry. Because they have a burning desire, a passion to see this to the end, to see everything through. Why? It matters to them. It matters to them. And that could be you, right? That could be you right now. Right now, you're sitting there, you say, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. Day in and day out, you're studying, you're reading, you're trying to practice, right? You're practicing and you're practicing. And then you're saying, listen, I need some help here because I can only get so far with myself. That was me. I knew that for a fact. I told you guys a story when I went And before I had gotten to SMA, I was working in sales and marketing, corporate, right? And the person that I went to go and work for was a hell of a salesman. They were very, very good. I wouldn't make this up. I'd never come face to face with someone that was so good in sales. Never. Usually it'd be through YouTube, right, or some media channel. Maybe you go to a conference and there's a lot of good salespeople there. I had never had the opportunity to work one-on-one with someone that obviously I was working for them, so obviously they wanted me to be good. They were building their company back up. It was almost like being, in an environment with someone that wanted you to succeed, wanted you to win, and was going to train you until you did. Now, obviously I had some sales ability, but in my personal opinion, I wasn't that good. This person helped me go from where I was, which in my opinion, I was just terrible, to a whole nother level. Not just being on the phone, but in confidence, knowing how to speak to people, knowing how to communicate effectively, knowing what to say and what not to say. And the biggest thing that I also learned is that it's not always going to come out so polished. You're not always going to have a polished way of speaking. Why? Because in natural communication, people hear with feeling, not always with their ears, if that makes any sense. Okay? You're not always going to hear what someone is saying, but you can feel what someone is saying. So I always try to bring up references. I always try to bring up stories. Why? Because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I can give almost anybody a story about one of my clients that's doing phenomenal. I could have clients call any one of my a person that says, hey, I'd like to get a reference, no problem, right? Because I live up to my word and I give someone a phenomenal product. How would you like that, right? How would you like to sign up a client and not have to worry if they're going to get results, because you know that you're not just the salesperson, but you can also get the team that could put everything in play for them and help them close more deals and help them grow their business. See, that's life changing. See, now your confidence has changed, because why? When you pick up the phone, you're not just trying to sell another product or another service. No, you're trying to find out who in this local market, who in this area, who in this niche is looking for a drastic change in their business and in their life. Who is that going to be? And when you find that person, then obviously you're gonna basically, what I call, unload them. You're gonna give it. So you're gonna make sure that they hear everything you have to say, listen, this product is for you, this service is for you. I can hear it in your voice. Right now I can hear you telling me that you need this. And the reason I can hear that is because you've gone through company after company. You're tired of getting bad calls. You're tired of getting bad leads, or whatever it is. It may be for your niche, right? And I'm telling you right now that I'm going to 100% prove myself to you. And after I'm proved, it's done. Stick a fork in. You found your guy, you found your lady, and let's go to work. See, there's a difference right there in speaking to someone and really communicating to somebody what's going to happen. Usually people say, hey, what you got? What's your product or service? Most people are ready to riddle up the script. What they're really saying is, tell me why I should give you my hard-earned money. Tell me why I should work with you. I should invest with you. And tell me why I should do it with you and not the other 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or 100 other people that called me this morning or yesterday or between last month and this month. Tell me why you over everybody else. And see, now it doesn't matter how much you know, folks. It matters how much you care, right? We all get, calls, and, we can almost hear it in the person's voice that they just want to, read that script and get to the end. And if they get a deal, they're excited, but they really just want to get off the phone, right? There's a reason for that, because they're not invested. They're not passionate about it. That's what happens when you get a coach. Coach is going to make you better. That's what happens when you work with me. I'm going to make you better. I'm going to make you feel it inside of your gut where you can just speak it to someone. You can really, and that's when clients want to work with you, because they know they got someone in their corner, not just someone they're sending payments to that's just going to go and figure stuff out. No, they got someone in their corner that's going to do whatever it takes to get them to the next level. And so, guys, if that's what you want, right? If that's what you're saying, I've been watching too many videos, right? I want to take action. For whatever reason, I haven't taken action, but I'm ready. I'm so ready. Listen, put me on the phone right now. You teach me what I need to do, I will do it. It's done. That's the person that needs a coach. That's the person that says, just point and I go. That's the way, then I go. That's the person that is they're so motivated and hungry. That was me. See, because I wasn't good at the point, I'm going back to the story here. I wasn't good at sales, but I was hungry for it. I wanted to get good at it. I was so ready. You can't find the right space, the right niche, the right opportunity. I was ready. I responded to some random ad. It was a random job. It wasn't even something that anybody would have seen as valuable. Oh my gosh, you can't see the diamond in the rough. And I get in the office and I'm like, I'm not blown away yet. It wasn't until this guy opened his mouth, I said, let's go. Because I knew what I could do if I was working with the right person. See, I knew that if I had the right coach, if I had the right training, and I was just going to be drilled and drilled and drilled until I was just so exceptional at it, I just knew I was going to get better at sales. I would be able to do the things that I wanted to do, the traveling. I've done it all, guys. I mean, this is why helping you is such a simple thing to do. All you have to do is take action. So you have to make the decision for yourself, right? I don't want to make it for you. And I don't want anyone else to make it for you. You have to, go in that room, go in that mirror, look yourself in the face and say, hey, what do you want the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years of your life to look like? What do you want that to look like, right? And if building your agency, hitting that 10K mark, that 20K mark is something that will help you, then guys, you got to hit the link in the description below, right? Maybe you need a strategy call, right? Maybe you just need to get some things aligned, right? You're bouncing around a little bit. You need to get leveled, set, straight, right? Or maybe you need a coach. Now, here's what I say to everyone all the time. Coaching is not for everyone. Why? Because it's all about results. It's not about feelings. It's about helping you get to the next level, right? And you may not qualify yet. So you might be motivated and hungry, but you may not be qualified yet. And that's okay, right? Because you can get on the phone with me and we could talk and we're going to see if you're qualified. And if you're not qualified, listen, I'm going to shake your hand and say, hey, right now is not the time for you. Try back in a couple of months. But right now, here's what I'm going to I'm going to give you some things that you can work on. And if you're coachable, you'll work on them. And when we get back on the phone, you might be ready at that point. But I'm going to give you a couple things. And then there's some of you that may be qualified, you'll be coachable. You're going to see over the next 5 weeks, you're going to go from zero to hero. Kid you not. You're going to be ready. You're going to be built, stout. That's what I had. I had someone to drill me. And folks, ever since then, I've always taken the investment. Always. I always pay the high price. People say when they go out to restaurants, right, they don't tip. And I've been around, and I tip. I always tip. But I got around this person. This person was a big tipper. Immediately, I did the math. I said, hey, the reason you weren't closing deals was because you lived a life of scarcity. You weren't ready to invest. You weren't just not ready to invest in the course. You weren't ready to invest in other people. So if you're not ready to invest in other people, how can someone invest in you? Because you don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. Right. So then I started doing their little things. I started doing that. Forget about it. Shit, I was giving everything. The meal cost, I would give double the meal. I would just keep doing it. And then obviously the ripple effect just kept coming. And that's something small. It's a metaphor. Obviously that takes place, but it's a metaphor for other things in my life. I looked at my life as an abundance. Giving. Always ready to give. Always ready to help. Any way I can. And I found out that through this recipe, it just keeps coming back to you. Through this recipe, it's almost like you do good and good will come back. Okay, guys, I don't want to make this much longer. If this video has been valuable to you, definitely hit the like button, share and subscribe. My whole mission with this channel is to put out content that basically is true experiences from my personal life, my experiences with building my SMA agency. Everything I give you guys are things that I personally have done, right? And things that I know if you implement them and do, you'll be successful as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't give it to you. So other than that, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you and see you guys next time.